let's study the various functions of some common organelles. Cell wall. Now we'll have a look at cell wall. A city has a wall, similarly a cell has a cell wall which refers to its boundary, while plant cells have both cell wall and cell membrane. Animal cells are devoid of cell wall. The cell wall is tough, usually flexible but sometimes fairly rigid layer. It is located outside the cell membrane and provides structural support, protection and also acts as a filtering mechanism. A major function of cell wall is preventing overexpansion when water enters the cell. It is formed of multiple layers of carbohydrates, mainly cellulose and pectin, which gives structural support, rigidity, strength and protection against mechanical stress to the cells. It permits the organism to build and hold its shape. The cell wall also limits the entry of large molecules that may be toxic to the cell. Plasma membrane. A plasma membrane can be named as a cell boundary in common language, just like a city has a city border. Cell membrane can be termed as a plasma membrane. S.J. Singer and Garth Nicholson in 1972 described a model for plasma membrane known as fluid mosaic model. In electron micrographs, prokaryotic and eukaryotic plasma membrane look like two layered structures. The phospholipid molecules are arranged in two parallel rows, which is also called as a lipid bilayer. Each phospholipid molecules contains a polar head composed of hydrophilic phosphate group and glycerol, and hydrophobic nonpolar tails are composed of fatty acids. The polar heads are on the surface of the lipid bilayer and the non-polar tails are in the interior of the bilayer. Proteins are also present in the structure of plasma membrane. On the basis of its position, they are divided into two types. First, the extrinsic membrane proteins. Second, the intrinsic membrane proteins. Now, let's have a look at the functions of plasma membrane. It is the membrane boundary of the cell which regulates cell transport. The plasma membrane exhibits selective permeability. Small non-polar hydrophobic molecules are soluble in lipids and can easily pass through the membrane. Polar hydrophilic molecules are not soluble in lipids. Transport of these polar molecules across the membrane depends on the protein molecules in the phospholipid bilayer.